Now, in order to figure this one out, in order to figure out what the derivative of the natural log of x is, let's talk about inverse functions. You guys remember doing that? No. Taking the derivative of inverse functions? You guys are like, no. Okay, so when we were talking about inverse functions, we had f of x and we had g of x. We would say that g of x is the inverse of f of x. Yeah. And so if you were trying to find the inverse of the g function, which is the inverse of f, we proved that you can just go 1 over f prime of g of x. So you can just use this cute little formula to find the derivative. Well, in our case, our g function is natural log of x. If that's true, what is its inverse? E to the x. So if we wanted to find the derivative of the inverse function, how would we do that? Well, if we use the formula right here, we would say 1 over, and then we have the f function right here, so it's going to be e to the g of x. So we're going to plug g of x inside of it. Right? That's the f function. The f function is e to the x, and so I have it right there, and we're going to plug the g function inside of the e to the x function. And actually, you see how it's f prime? What is f prime right here? It's the same thing. Okay, sorry, I kind of missed that point. That's important. So that's why we just have e to the x right here. What is g of x? Yeah, so we have 1 over e to the natural log of x. Now, if you guys go all the way back to your Algebra 2 days, you might remember that if you had something like log base 5 of x plus 1 equals, I don't know, 100, and you were trying to solve this, you would raise both sides to the base of 5 so that these are now exponents. Why would you do that? Because this, a base 5, is the inverse operation of log base 5. And so these essentially like get canceled out and you're left with this, right? You guys remember doing that? No? Okay. Yeah. They're opposites of each other, they're inverses, and so when you have inverses like that, they just cancel out. So check this out. What happens to my e and the natural log? Those are inverses of each other, right? So those cancel out. And so what am I left with? Something very cute. 1 over x. Yeah, that's cute. Yes? You don't get how this is the derivative? Dude, that's the whole explanation.
But you did the inverse.
I know, because they're inverses of each other. Okay, here, let me show you again. So we started out with this, right? We want to take the derivative of the natural log of x. Okay? Shh. I'm summing it up here. The inverse of the natural log of x is e to the x. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have e to the x and natural log of x. They're inverses.
I get it.
No, you don't.
I got it.
So if I was trying to find the derivative of g, which is our inverse function, I use this formula, which we've proven before. So we're allowed to do that. All right, so now I plug everything in, things cancel out, I'm left with this. Yeah, you're good? Good. Okay, let's solve some stuff. I only want to use formulas if I prove them. Well, sometimes I don't end up proving them, I just have to use them, but it's just not satisfying to me if I have to just use a formula. Someone just said, hey, use this formula. I'm going to go, why? How does that work?